Hi, I'm Ray Farmer, Chief of the Rialto Police Department. A career in law enforcement is both a unique and rewarding experience. In the next few minutes, you'll be introduced to the various steps involved in becoming a police officer. We hope this film will give you a better understanding of what it takes to become a police officer and help you decide if this is a career for you. Good luck.
Police work. What does it mean? Hard work, dedication, sacrifice, and satisfaction. As an officer, you put your life on the line every day. For good reason. To protect and serve the people in your community.
You know, so as soon as you get to the scene, everything's running through your head at once. That's once you get there, then you start going together at once, you know. The main thing, though, is once you get there is your injuries, you know.
But the training is tough, designed to stress you to the limit and make sure you'll react properly out in the field.
It's a very busy city. It's a very challenging job. We handle approximately 37,000 calls a year for service, and those range from just about anything imaginable. The job is not particularly like you see on Hill Street Blues or some of the other television adaptations of law enforcement. It is quite a bit of difference. But we do experience much the same problems as they do in any size city, be it smaller than Rialto or be it the same size as Los Angeles. It's been actually a dream come true for me in this profession because I'm living out what I wanted to do when I was a youngster. In the 22 years of service that I have enjoyed so far as a police officer, I've never had one day that I've got up in the morning and regretted going to work. It's my kind of profession, and it can be your kind of profession. It's an excellent opportunity to get in the business, to see if this is really what you want to do, to see if you can be part of the people in the blue. As I said, not everyone is cut out to do this kind of work, but those of you that are, you'll find it more than challenging, more than rewarding, and more than satisfying. Probably 1 out of 25 or 1 out of 50 would be more realistic. People who apply really get down to the spot where they are considered for selection.
But if you want police work and you're willing to put in the work, you have a good chance of making it. Your color doesn't matter.
I worked there for 2.5 years, and from my experience and stuff there, I went to Santa Ana Police Department as an investigator for approximately 3 years, where during those 3 years I worked all types of investigations. I was number 3 on a sergeant's list before I got medically retired. And since then I've went into private investigations, and personally I feel you can't be any more successful than I am. I'm not bragging about anything, but personally, I do not have to work again if I didn't want to. I have a very nice home, nice vehicles, a nice position within the investigation realm.
Your sex doesn't matter.
Basically, the guys here are real good. They treat me as an equal. And as long as you hold your own and show that you're doing your job and don't run away from a situation, they're going to be there to back you every time, and they expect you to do the same for them. If a situation gets out of hand, they expect you to be right there and jump in and help out. You know, if something happens or goes wrong and you panic, then they're going to be afraid to have you around, because not only are they going to have to handle their situation, but they're going to have to watch out for you too. And that's not what we're out there as a backing officer for. You know, you want to have faith in your backing officer that he's going to be there to help you instead of you having to babysit him. Basically here, I've been accepted pretty well by the guys, and you know, we get along real good, and I back them, and they're always there to back me. I found when I first came on that they were very helpful too, and always wanted to go out of their way to help me and ask me if I needed help on any situation or any questions that I had. They're always there. So we get along pretty good here.
Police work is tough and sometimes dangerous work. But one of the most important elements is your ability to read and write proficiently.
Some of the problems we see that are across the board, regardless of where you're at, is in the ability to write and reading comprehension. That seems to be an area that needs to be worked on, and I don't know what the academies are doing. I know they've changed their curriculum considerably to accommodate that. We find that we get people out of the academy that are having those kinds of problems, and so we enroll them in some remedial courses. We set them up through Valley College, and we set them up with some state certified courses, and we get them into those courses right away. That's why we extended our probation period from 12 months to 18 months.
As an officer, you have to be observant and careful on the streets and on paper. The bottom line is professionalism. You will be sworn to uphold the law.
As a law enforcement officer, my fundamental duty is to serve mankind, to safeguard lives and property, to protect the innocent against deception, the weak against oppression or intimidation, and the peaceful against violence or disorder, and to respect the constitutional rights of all men to liberty, equality, and justice. I will keep my private life unsullied as an example to all, maintain courageous calm in the face of danger, scorn, or ridicule, develop self-restraint, and be constantly mindful of the welfare of others. Honest in thought and deed in both my personal and professional life. I will be exemplary in obeying all the laws of the land and the regulations of my department. Whatever I see or hear of a confidential nature, or that is confided into me in my official capacity, will be kept ever secret unless revelation is necessary in the performance of my duties. I will never act officiously or permit personal feelings, prejudices, animosities, or friendships to influence my decisions. With no compromise for crime, and with the relentless prosecution of criminals, I will enforce the law courageously and courteously and appropriately without fear or favor, malice or ill will, never employing unnecessary force or violence, and never accepting gratuities. I recognize the badge of my office as a symbol of public faith, and I accept it as a public trust, to be held so long as I am true to the ethics of the police service. I will constantly strive to achieve these objectives and ideals, dedicating myself before God to my chosen profession, law enforcement. With that, I'd like to say just one other thing, that if you're interested in law enforcement, you really have to think about it, make it part of you, and when you pin on that badge, you're not just looking for a job, you're looking for a career, a way of life.
If you're willing to do the work on paper and in the field, you'll find a career in police work exciting and satisfying. Remember the many rewards of this fine career as you go through the application process. Good luck to all of you.